I haven't posted much in the last week for two reasons. Firstly, I'm still settling into my new job, and secondly, there's very, very little to make light of in the news. The two main stories on the news are the Olympics and the recent riots here in the UK. And although I'm sure if I tried hard enough I could find something amusing to say about the recent civil disturbance, I won't, because 1 month into Labour's government, we're not far away from, if you're this colour and have an opinion that doesn't toe the Labour Party line, soon I'm sure that will be a crime. And of course, our illustrious leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has told us countless times that his father was a toolmaker, and I think we can all agree with that. His dad really did make a prize tool. Although given the new government policies, I think Sir Keir Starmer's father made tools that looked more like this. That's the politics out of the way, let's get on with the video. I think we're all familiar with the concept of pets looking like their owners and vice versa. So today we'll meet two dog owners, and in both cases I feel very, very sorry for the animals. This first clip, which I'm going to spend a lot more time ripping the piss out of, when I saw it I thought it was a send-up, it must be a spoof, so I've dug into it and no, this is serious. We'll start off by meeting a man who sadly is from this country, who lives his life as a stay-at-home dad for a French bulldog.
My sustainable daily routine is a stay-at-home dad in London. Around 11 AM, our carbon-neutral fur baby Xavier wakes me up for some morning bonding, before heading downstairs for the first snappy change of the day. These bamboo doggy diapers are super absorbent and help save the planet. On with a new one, then they're baby fresh, ready for brunch. For Xavier's brunch, I make a blend of vegan and bug-based poppy food which have exactly the same protein as meat with half the carbon footprint. Noma noma. After brunch, I give Xavier an hour of creative learning with recycled toys designed to encourage early neurological development. Then around 3 PM, I get Xavier in the stroller and take him to my girlfriend's boyfriend's house to get some exercise in their family garden. As a neurodivergent fur baby, Xavier has loads of energy, so keeping them active can be challenging even though we always have loads of fun. Once home, we'll spend an hour watching the usual cartoons before their soy milk booster meal before bed. Digesting half a litre of soy milk usually tires them out enough just in time for beddy buys. A long story time before bed helps educate and soothe Xavier into sleep, so that they're ready to do it all again tomorrow.
Why is his mouth constantly like that? I'm guessing it's because when his girlfriend has finished pegging him, she then rams the strap-on down his throat. Or maybe, when he's good, he can go to his girlfriend's boyfriend's house, as we heard, and maybe suck him off. That man could not be any more cucked. I bet when his missus gets home from fucking her other boyfriend, if he's behaved well, he gets to lick her other boyfriend's cum out of her. There's an image. Anyway, as a taxpayer, I have to say that I love seeing that his day begins at 11 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm glad to know that when my alarm goes off at 4:45, soon to be 4:45, I get up bright and early so that fucker can play house with a dog. A dog called Xavier, for which that gentleman uses they-them pronouns. I don't think the particular mental disease of being non-binary has yet affected the canine kingdom. Most non-binary people are upper-middle-class white folks desperate to appear victims. It's a dog. Does it have a dick? That's how you tell what sex it is. And it doesn't matter what the dog's sexuality is, if dogs really have sexualities. I've seen male dogs fuck other male dogs. I've also seen dogs fuck chair legs. They're not overly fussy, but I doubt Xavier will break down crying if you refer to it as he. Then there's the diet, that mixture of bug protein and vegan food. Now, I know people who are vegan, and that's true, I do know vegans, many of whom I get on with because they're not the preachy ones like this twat we've just seen, who will say, oh, I'm vegan and so is my dog. Your dog is not vegan, you are forcing it to have a diet that doesn't suit it. Because one day, that vegan dog is going to rip the face off a toddler. And as for Xavier being carbon neutral and their diet being better for the planet, as it were, if that moron wants to cut down his carbon footprint, it's very simple. Fuck the dog off. The dog has a carbon footprint but isn't contributing anything other than making him feel important. Now, I cannot stand people who use the term fur baby. You don't have a fur baby, you have a fucking pet. And it may be the reason you have that pet is because the man is firing blanks or the lady is barren. It is not really a child substitute. Stop covering up your own inability to grieve. But for me, by far the strangest statement is that Xavier is neurodivergent. Got learning disabilities, has he? The dog's... they. Dyslexic, ADHD? Does the dog find it hard to concentrate? It's a fucking dog! That's what they do! And the dog nappies or diapers, if you're watching in the new world. For me, that's just an excuse for him not being able to train the fucking dog. It's a dog, mate. Train it to crap outside. Then you pick it up in a plastic bag and put it in a bin. Or, if you're a bit more old school, you set fire to it and post it through someone's letterbox. Now, I could try and be nice by saying it's good he's using recycled toys, but then he's trying to educate Xavier. And again, Xavier is a dog. It's not going to grow up to be an emeritus professor of history. It won't even be a fucking forklift driver, because it's a bulldog. It will spend 12 to 16 years sniffing things, pissing and shitting everywhere, and then it's going to die. Although using those toys that are designed for human children, it may die much quicker. Because those toys have not been designed for the biting pressure from a French bulldog's jaw. It could snap off, cut the dog's throat, or it could just choke to death. We all saw him shoving the dog around in a stroller or a pushchair, whatever you want to call it. Whenever I see someone doing that with a dog, it makes me think, are you aware that your dog has legs? And of course, dogs, they're quite famous for enjoying walking. For fuck's sake. Anyway, let's move on.
White people are truly so dense. So there's this woman that had a cool dog, and my dog was cool with her dog. So they played a little bit, and then her friend pulls up, and we start talking about my dog. She's a German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois. And she's like, oh yeah, all the dogs that protect the president are Malinois. And then I start talking about how trainers end up being super racist, and they are racist, and then it perpetuates a stereotype of my dog that she doesn't fuck with black and brown people, which is the opposite. I literally told them, I was I trained her to not like white people. Which the woman with the dogs laughed at because it's hilarious. But anyways, surprised though, because she was also white. But I was like, yeah, the trainers are a little bit the trainers are racist, and she was like, towards other dogs. I was like, no, against black and brown people. They train dogs to bite them and hold on to them and latch onto them. Which is a huge fucking problem. She's like, yeah, I've never heard that before. And I was like, well, yeah, you're white. So you're probably also racist. But yeah, I don't know what it is with these people. Just no perception. They're just yeah, racism doesn't exist. Shut up. It's absurd. I don't understand it.
So that lady, with her hair that she's cut herself, her massive septum piercing, and body odour, which I can almost smell coming through my phone, begins her argument by saying white people are so dense, and then goes on to talk about racism. With no hint of irony. I'm not a dog owner, but I grew up with dogs, by which I mean we had family pets. I wasn't raised by them, like an urban version of Tarzan. But I know a lot of dog owners, and I've never heard one say, well, Rex, he'll roll over, he'll play dead, he'll come when he's called. Sorry, they will come when they're called, but I've got to take him to obedience class because he's just not racist enough. He's got nothing against the Jews. He doesn't wag his tail when I shout, there ain't no black in the Union Jack. I don't know what's wrong with him. If you're not from the UK, the phrase, there ain't no black in the Union Jack, that was used by a racist organisation in the 1970s and 80s called the National Front. And it's wrong on so many levels. There ain't no black in the Union Jack. First off, ain't no is a double negative, so that doesn't work. The Union Jack is actually called the Union Flag, apart from when it's flying from the jackmast of a ship. And it implies that although there are no black people, or black whatsoever, in the Union Jack, there is blue. So is the UK very welcoming to Smurfs? So does our new friend with the Palestine lanyard, when she isn't virtue signalling that hard, honestly believe that dogs are trained to be racist? Because here's the issue. If dogs are trained to attack black and brown people, dogs see in black and white. Thus, when she says that she's trained her dog to be racist towards white people, that doesn't make any sense. The dog has been trained to be hostile to whoever she views as a threat, and it's her own fucking prejudice which will lead to that dog's behaviour. Her whole rant about people being racist, and she ends on saying, oh, you're probably just racist, is just a cover for her own fucking racism. And her dog is part German Shepherd. And of course, those dogs were favoured by the Nazis. So if any dog is going to be a white supremacist, it's going to be that one. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as ever, thanks for watching. So as a taxpayer, it heartens me that, I don't know what the fuck I just stood on, but it hurt. Cheers me up knowing that when my alarm goes off at 4:45 in the morning, that lazy bastard is laying in bed till 11 AM. And he says he's got a girlfriend. Does he have a girlfriend? Or is he just very passionate about one of his socks? Now, I'm not currently a dog owner because dog walkers always find the bodies. Today, it's windy, so apologies for the audio quality, but I'm in this beautiful Victorian park, and this is what people in the New World think England looks like. This beautiful landscape park. And it's true, these are all over the place. The issue is, if you go 500 yards in any direction, you'll run into a shithole. I've just had an idea for a very, very stupid character. A racist who's also a bird watcher. Because over there now is a Canada goose. Yeah, fuck off back to where you come from. I'm 46 years old. No offence intended there to any Canadians watching. I've not yet been to Canada, but you seem like lovely people. Like soft-spoken Americans who don't have as many guns. Illustrious leader Sir Keir Starmer went, there's so much I want to say, but it'll get me in the shit. Familiar with the idea that, oh, fuck it.